You're watching the 2024 SCAC Fall Media Days. Today we're taking a look at the Texas Lutheran women's soccer program. The Bulldogs will once again be led as they head into the season with the guidance of head coach Kerwin Johnson, along with leadership from senior forward Alyssa Simien. Coach Alyssa, thanks so much for joining us today.
How are you doing, Russell? Good to see you.
Coach, we'll open up with you heading into year 3 as the head coach of this program. You look back at these past 2 years, 2 great successful years, stacking up 20 wins over the course of those 2 seasons. The most wins over a 2-season period, going back to 2015-16 with this program. So, what have you seen as far as the biggest growth that this program has made over the course of these 2 years, and how excited are you to be back with this group and getting ready to start this 2024 campaign?
I'm super excited to be back. Some of the growth that we've seen in the last couple of years, it's real obvious getting in some key quality players in with what we already have, which Christina and I thought that was most important, providing some more depth into the group. I think is extremely important moving into year number 3. The last 2 years were wonderful and they were exciting, but they're in the past now. So we're really looking forward to this new season with the new group that we have.
Alyssa, coming into your senior season, into this senior preseason for you, what are you most excited about as you start this journey coming into this year? You've coming off 2 outstanding years, as Coach talked about, both as a team and individually. But for you, what's your mindset coming into this preseason, and what are you most looking forward to going into the year?
I definitely think the biggest thing this year is like how strong our bond is. The girls that came in, they are bringing a lot of really good energy. And on top of that, like grit, hard work, these last few sessions have been absolutely amazing. And like he said, we've been building. So the last 2 seasons, those were also amazing. But it's very refreshing seeing new faces, new bonds being built. And I can see it progressing further. So that's extremely exciting, especially because I do got my one last ride. But I think it might be the best one. So I'm very excited.
Coach, coming into this year, you talk about the growth of this program and the ability to stack these successful years on top of each other. You come into this year 3 preseason. Where's your comfort level at? You've got a veteran group coming back, 8 starters, 7 in some form or capacity. We're all SCAC, including newcomer of the year and Caitlin Roach. Of course, the athlete sitting next to you, the 2-time offensive player of the year. So, how does that set up this preseason? Maybe a little bit differently in the past. Do you feel like as a program, you're kind of starting at a little bit further advanced space, and will that be an advantage for this group going into the year?
Well, I hope so, Russell. I hope we do have an advantage, but we're not overlooking anyone. We're taking it day by day. One of our mottos is comfortable being uncomfortable. I think I've even said that in the past. So we continue that stride, but I really give this group credit. It really seems like they enjoy each other. They like each other. So the sisterhood is really building. So I think that's going to be really, really key going into this really difficult season with adding, some of the 3 new teams who've entered the SCAC now. And obviously the teams that are already that are already in the SCAC. I'm just looking forward to get going to really see what we really do have. Early signs, it looks great, but it's just against ourselves. We haven't faced any opponents yet, but that's coming up in the next few days just to kind of see what we have. But it really is refreshing and really exciting to see the early strides of what we have.
Alyssa, I mentioned coming off 2 outstanding individual seasons, back-to-back SCAC Offensive Player of the Year, 27 goals, 61 points you've been able to rack up over these 2 seasons. Incredibly impressive. What is it that continues to motivate you, though, individually as a soccer player? And what have you continued to work on just in terms of your individual growth, and where's your confidence level coming into this year?
Yeah, that sounds amazing. But it wasn't done just me. I mean, I got 10 girls behind me every single game, and not just that, but the girls that aren't on with me, they are definitely there in support always. It's exciting because obviously like these awards, they're amazing and everything, but it's those girls that push me day in and day out. The only way that I can get around said defenders or slot a ball here and there is because I'm going against these girls day in and day out, and they're preparing me. So all of it goes to my teammates, truly. And of course, Kerwin's doing great. He's keeping us on track always, got our heads on right. But I think that we're like the support with each other has been phenomenal. And again, going into this season, like we said, it's really exciting because I think it's going to go even further. So all to the team for sure.
Coach, tell us a little about this 24 version of this Bulldogs program. I know there's been some themes and some consistencies within your teams in the last couple of years, but this group specifically, what have you learned about this team early on? What are some things that you've seen from this group as far as traits or personalities that you think will be beneficial for them as they, prepare to face those challenges in the upcoming season?
We actually take a little Ted Lasso with this group, be a goldfish and don't let things bother you, move on, forget about it, and move on to the next play. So we value that tremendously. And Alyssa's already said it, the support right now is really, really good. The team is bonding well. Nothing against girls who were within this program before we got here in the last few years. They've been wonderful as well. We wish them well, but just there's a special vibe about this group right now in preseason that I hope continues. And Alyssa said, I'm really trying to make sure we keep our foot on the pedal and move forward and not drift to the left or to the right. But so far, so good. They haven't been hard to deal with. I don't want to discuss the goals, on camera or anything like that, but they're all locked in. And it's just really nice to see. It's making my job easy right now. I just have to do a little bit when the ball rolls out or when we're asked to do fitness. There's no complaining. So some of the traits I really like is that this team is kind of like they have the underdog mentality. And I know they can do it. We believe in each other, and you're starting to see it. So I'm asking them to dream, and they are believing. And so we'll see what happens. So it's one of those things, like if you want results, you got to train like it. And they really have taken on a new identity that I think a lot of these teams are going to be shocked to see what we're bringing. So I love the mentality that they have, like a nonstop, relentless mentality. It's kind of nice. I just hope it continues, and I'm pretty sure it will. Or else why would they be here? I mean, this is what we've kind of built right now. So we had the foundation was built. Now we're just putting on the roof and the doors and the windows to this house, and it's looking pretty sturdy. So I'm excited.
Yeah, Alyssa, Coach talks about the foundation being built, and because of the work that you and your teammates have put in over the last couple of years, you continue to push the bar and raise that there in Seguin. So, as we go into this season, maybe I'll try with you. Coach didn't talk about it, but when you've had conversations about some of those goals, the expectations, for this team going into the season, what have those conversations looked like with some of the other peers on your team? And ultimately, what is going to be key in accomplishing those and trying to get to the mountaintop here heading into 2024?
100%. So the good thing is that we are early right now and we're already on the same page. So it's like an umbrella effect. Obviously, every team wants to come in. They want to get themselves a ring. I want to walk out of here with a ring. That's the goal. But everything that goes into that is inclusivity, sisterhood, like building these bonds and stealing them, because at the end of the day, you're not fighting for yourself. You're fighting for the player to the left and to the right of you. So when we're on that field, you remember, like, no, that's my sister. Like, if she's fighting, I'm going to fight. And if she loses that ball and she can't get back, I'm going to go get her, and we're going to have each other's back, and we're going to keep going. And all in all, once that falls into place, I don't see why the bigger goal wouldn't end up happening. So I think it's very good that we're all on the same same page and doing everything we need early. And I just see it progressing, like we said. So I'm very excited.
And finally, Coach, as we wrap up, in our sports arena, success can be measured in so many different ways. And just hearing Alyssa talk about some of the goals, it's clear that your message has been beyond kind of the wins, losses, the black and white sort of measurement. So when you talk about success with your student athletes and your program, what is that message that you're trying to deliver to this team? And ultimately, this season looks successful if what plays out over the course of the year?
I'll actually start off I'm measuring success as far as these young ladies, making sure they're independent, making sure they're graduating, making sure they're good, wholesome human beings, is when soccer ends, that they can represent the next phase of their life extremely well, and they give back to the school and wherever they see that is needed. So my main message to them, it's nice to get the awards, if you're a defender, midfielder, or offensive player, but to me, them graduating, walking across the stage with a degree is super important, besides all the extra soccer stuff. And then learning the life lessons through sport. I tell you all the time, you never know, like, you might be, my niece or my daughter may work for you someday, and I need you to handle yourself in the right way. So what you portray here for the program and outside the program is super important. You're not just Alyssa Simien, you're Alyssa Simien, TLU women's soccer player, and you're always going to be known for that. And take that with a little bit of pride, and make sure that you're passing that torch along to the next generation and things like that. But you're leading in the strong categories as far as being a good, humble human being that's willing to, bend over backwards for anyone that's in need. And I think that's super important.
Texas Lutheran University head women's soccer coach Kerwin Johnson, along with leadership from senior forward Alyssa Simien. The Bulldogs will open up the 2024 campaign when they take on Hardin Simmons at home on August 30th. Coach Alyssa, thanks so much for your time today. Best of luck as you head into the year.
Thank you, Russell, for your time. Appreciate it.